I just read the highlights of a study, how they were talking about many, not diseases, but like ADHD, all these different diagnoses were really because of something else. I don't want to get into all of it, basically, scientists were catching up with what has been said for a very long time, that if you're out of alignment, your body is going to let you know, and it does it in a myriad of ways. But, most people want to prove it right, and it takes them thousands of years to catch up to what they've been told. They just don't want to believe it. And so I just thought that was so fascinating and interesting. And, we've talked about that. And so it's like, I love that the medical world is there, right? And the ones that are doing it from pure intentions, because I do feel that it's better for me to be on the ADHD medicine as I continue to heal, because when I'm offline, I really notice it. And so, like, if you've been listening for a while, you realize that there was a shortage for a few years. So I had no choice but to go off of it. And I really felt the difference. And I didn't want to believe it at first, right? But it was also like because my nervous system hadn't been regulated and I wasn't having that consistent. It's so much. But bottom line is, it's just our body alerting us, right? My body was alerting me, your nervous system is now offline. You are no longer regulated. Something is awry. Alert, alert, alert. But oftentimes, people don't want to take a look at the root cause. So thank God for medicine, because it is like the quick fix. It is the Band-Aid, because people demand a Band-Aid. They refuse to look at the root cause. So it's like the medicine and the medical world has come into a bigger part of people's lives because people inadvertently demanded it. They don't want to hear the truth. They want it fixed, and they want it fixed now. Give me the damn Band-Aid. Give me, and so that then overtook, right? That became the prominent way that people did things. You have a problem? Oh, just go to the doctor, get that fixed, right? Slap that Band-Aid on it. And your body's like, what are you doing? I'm telling you something. All right, I'll tell you a different way. And so you keep having symptoms pop up all over the place, ailments all over the place. And so then people look at that backwards too, and they're like, oh my God, it's just a business. They're doing this on purpose. So it's like a catch-22. It's like a full circle. We're all participating in this. It's like, yeah, they are making money, and yeah, they probably have found ways to make bigger money, but because you fucking demanded it, because you refuse to do your work and love yourself and take a look at the root cause. It's which came first, the chicken or the egg. Does it fucking matter? We're all wrong. We're all part of it. We're all playing part to this bullshit, right? We're all a piece of this puzzle. There's nobody to blame but ourselves. The only way to stop it, the only way to clock out of it, the only way to stop the cycle is to take accountability and fully love and accept yourself, and take ownership of where you aren't loving yourself, where stuff is going wrong. And don't even look at it as necessarily wrong or bad. It's an alert system, right? Like kidneys, I think, are like the seat of fear or shame, right? Like you're holding on to a lot of shame because you were doing things that you knew you shouldn't have been doing, but you did them anyway because you wanted that instant gratification. You were selfish and greedy and angry and bitter, and you did it anyway. So it's like you're holding on to that shame, and it'll turn into other things the more you refuse to look. It's like all these symptoms we have, we can go back to looking at what's the real root cause. And it does always boil down to worthiness. Right? Which to me, this is why it's always funny how it's like, oh, the Bible said all this, right? It's like, oh, we were taught this so long ago, but we couldn't hear it. We weren't listening, right? How worthy are you? Do you recognize that you're worthy? Do you understand what that means? That does not mean to be obnoxious and arrogant and knock everything out of everybody's hand and come in like you're the fucking king. No. That's that negative selfish that we talk about. That greedy, selfish, arrogant. No. It's fully loving and embracing one's self. Knowing that you are part of the whole, you are part of the divine, you are a vessel for the divine. And so treat yourself as such. And the more you do that work, the more you love yourself, the more symptoms clear up. I've watched it and seen in my own life. That doesn't make it easy, right? Because there's always new stressors, and sometimes they're invisible stressors, right? Like, sometimes we'll have a harder time adapting to an area because there's new allergens or there's new environmental stressors that are unfamiliar to our body. And so we have to be honest with ourselves and do what we can. I mean, don't ignore that. I mean, that is part of reality, right? You need to put a filter then maybe on your water system. You need to have a filter in your environment, but it's also recognizing this and doing the practices that are loving for you, that are kind for you, and not going too far to the extreme either. We don't want to force ourselves into a bubble, but we also don't want to ignore it either. It's like a helping hand, right? You want to help yourself, versus then getting on allergy medicine for the rest of your life. Right? And then having your body bogged down with those chemicals, suppressing in the very thing your body's trying to tell you and express out. It's like you're going against yourself. You're going against your innate knowing, nature, body. And does any of it matter? I mean, people have been spouting this stuff for God knows how long. There's books and books and books and programs and programs and programs. And then the book, the Bible, who tells you that from 100 billion years. And it's like, it's what, 2,000 years old, excuse me. But the point is this stuff is not new news. It's like there's always this information. It's just, when are we going to take accountability and ownership? And the reason I'm saying that, they're showing how do I verbalize that? Okay, it's not that it's like, don't if you don't want to. Definitely live in Suppressionville and suck up all the medicine you want and suck up all the this you want. So, but it's like you can't. Well, you can, but the best way I can verbalize what they're showing is, but then you can't bitch about it. It's like people take all the medicine, suppressing in what their body is screaming for them to express, but then bitch about everything too. And it's like wanting your cake and eating it too. Right? It's like, I think that's why I'm like, at least people be aware, right? It'd be one thing if you're consciously choosing, like, oh my God, I know if I take this medicine, it's going to suppress in the very thing my body is trying to tell me to express out. But I need this quick fix right now. I'm going to do it later. Unfortunately, I've shared with you, that's very rarely how it works, because as you continue to suppress it in, it gets quieter and more silent because it goes deeper in until it explodes outward in a larger thing that is even more inconvenient and even more painful to deal with, right? So it's like the longer you ignore it, the harder it gets, the worse it gets, the bigger it gets. So it's like, it's too big for you now? Just wait. It doesn't go away. It's the idea that people like to bury their head in the sand and hope and cross their fingers and toes that it'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's there to help you, to love you, to heal you. And yet, because it can be painful and we don't want to deal with it, we don't want to face our pain, we don't like to. It's human nature for us to move towards pleasure and away from pain. So it's human of us to be like, no. What's the Band-Aid? Where's the doctor? Give me the quick fix. What's what? Well, thank God they're there, because so many people then have suppressed in such huge things that they express outwardly in huge things. And then it is dire straits. Then you really do need You really do need the hospital and the doctor and all the experts, right? Thank God they're there. It's like they're there because they know you're too big of a fucking baby to do the real work. So it's like they're there for the people who are the worst, the biggest babies. It's kind of what it's like. It's like the people who want to face their shit, to deal with their shit, to take ownership, to take accountability, to do the hard things, to do the cleanup, are less likely in need of them. But it's like, don't make them bad. They're very much needed. And they're needed for those of us who do the work. And then we do have things that happen nonetheless that we can't, so you can't take on everything, and shit does happen. But it is the idea of, I've heard every side of the spectrum where, people will blame medicine and calling it big business and everything else. And granted, it is. I agree with that. But not because we didn't make it be that way. We put it in that position because we refused to love and care for ourselves. And we bought into all the sales pitches and the bullshit. So it's not, they're there, thank God, for us because we insisted. We refused to do our work, right? But then were they smart enough to be like, well, all right, they want to keep coming back. But it's not even a conscious thing. It's not that they're doing it in that way. It's more like you keep going back because your body is trying to tell you something and you're ignoring it. So it continues to have more ailments, and then you have to continue going to the doctor. So is it really the doctor, right? No. They're there because you're not doing the cleanup work. And even when they tell you the cleanup work, right? Like there's doctors who will be like, you know what? There's a comedian who has a joke about this. His joke is something like, it's something like his father has all these surgeries every year. And the doctor's always like, you can do these exercises. And he's like, no, let's just do the surgery. And it's the funniest joke. And it's true. A lot of people are like, work? Exercise, effort on my part, what are you talking about? No, where's the quick fix? Yes, the surgery's fine. Put me under, give me the drugs, knock me out, do what you need to do. I'm not doing anything. This is your job. You do this, right? It's like we hand over our ownership, our accountability, our power because we're too lazy, right? Oh. And when I tell you this, I'm guilty too. I am never not guilty. How they show me and how it comes through and how I am not by any means a saint or innocent by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sharing with you what they're showing me, how I understand it, and what I've experienced as well, and have found to be very, very true. And it's like the more accountability you take, the more ownership you take, the more power you take back of your own. You stop projecting it out of you, blaming it on others, but start taking ownership, getting that HEPA filter, getting that filter for your water system, doing your daily exercises. It can be exhausting. It can be a lot of work at times to maintain ourselves and our nervous system and be regulated. But it's like, that's what your body's telling you need to do, right? Being around the right people, intaking the right material, reading the right books, listening to the right music, listening to the right friends, family, are these people supporting you, loving you, uplifting you? Do you feel safe? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Or are you always anxious and nervous and waiting for the next punch or the next teardown or the next undercut or sly, this look and comment? And it's like that kind of stuff wreaks havoc on one's body, mind, and soul. And so do you love yourself enough to remove yourself even when it's hard? Do you love yourself enough to care for yourself and your life and say, you know what? I have this one precious life from this perspective, this go around. I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to love myself and remove myself, even though that too is extremely difficult. And that's the choice. And a lot of times people say that's too difficult. I'd rather stay in my comfort zone and very much bitch about my comfort zone. This is what we're going to do. This is how it is. This is how it's always been. And this is how it'll always be. And they have that mentality. And that's where they live forevermore. And they come back generation after generation, regurgitating that shit because that's what they do and that's what they embed in their young ones, and their young ones repeat that, and they grow up and repeat that, and they grow up and repeat that, and they grow up and repeat that, and they don't even know why they're repeating it, but it's just so ingrained in them because that's what they have seen and heard for eons and eons, because nobody was willing to take the harder route. They were all too lazy and too comfortable, and it was too challenging to buck that current. That's the idea of the generational curse breaking. So it's always up to us. You're welcome to live in Bitchville and the way it is forevermore, or to do the harder thing, which is really funny, to love yourself. It's like we look at that as challenging and difficult because that's how we've made it. We've set ourselves up for that. That's what we've chosen time and again. Take the Band-Aid, take the easy route, take the quick fix. It's like that's how all these other avenues come into play, because we're too lazy to take the accountability, and we will find excuse after excuse. We then push scientists to prove us right. Prove it's genetics, prove it's this, prove it. I can't take accountability. We have to blame it on somebody else. Find it, prove it, find it, prove it. So they do. Here you go. Does it make it true? Does it make it? No, but it sure makes you feel better, and it gives you an excuse to hang on tight to. You hate it, but it's now making you comfortable in your comfortable zone. You happy now? No, you're still fucking miserable. Because taking accountability is never going to leave. Begins and ends with us. You're creating your own reality. Even though you hate it, you keep creating it. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.